Don't leave me hanging. It's go time.
Hey everybody, it's Josh Sub, aka AskJoshy on YouTube, and here we have Game 4 in a best of 5 show match between CatZ of Root Gaming, CatZ the yellow Zerg down here on the bottom of Desert Oasis, and Capoch from Inflow Gaming, the green Protoss up here on the top. And the series is 2-1 right now in favor of Capoch. Capoch showing himself to be a very, very aggressive Protoss player, really likes his gateway units, and CatZ, of course, been under pressure in all 3 games. He only won the last game really because he was able to defend well enough to have Capoch tap out based on, CatZ didn't even have to go over to his base to kill him. Capoch basically just conceded because his aggression was not working. It was being warded off quite expertly by CatZ. So here we have Desert Oasis, and there's a lot of debate about this map on which side is favored, Zerg or Protoss. And really, I don't know enough about the matchup on this map to make a comment, but I mean, Zerg can expand over here at their natural pretty easily just because the huge walking distance of all these Protoss units will have to take absolutely forever to get over there. But with the addition of warp gates, I mean, you can build a pylon right here or, anywhere around here and have your runtime significantly reduced, obviously. But some players still just like to argue about whatever they can and say, Protoss is favored or Terran is favored, but obviously there's no Terran in this matchup, so it doesn't really matter. And Capoch trying to be a sneaky snake, dropping a proxy pylon here in CatZ's main base, and he did successfully manage to do just that in Game 2 on Lost Temple. He was able to sneak in that proxy pylon without CatZ being aware of it the entire game, and it did end up winning Capoch the game, basically. CatZ was being aggressive over at his base, and Capoch was able to warp in units right under his nose. And CatZ actually able to sneak in. Usually Capoch is able to block this at least for a little while with a probe or a pylon, but CatZ, really good timing, saw that probe was in his main, so was able to get a drone over there fast enough to start this hatchery right after the pool, I believe. And so Capoch is going to tuck his probe over here. He did get that pylon up. There is a pylon in CatZ's main, be aware. And Capoch back at his base is getting one gateway followed by a cybernetics core so that he can get that warp gate tech extremely quickly. He'll need it for this huge map of Desert Oasis. But spawning pool finishing up very soon. This Overlord looks like it's on a crash course. Oh, no, maybe not. He may not see that pylon just yet, but this hatchery going up pretty successfully here. This probe here still just doing a patrol dance. I always like to do that with whatever units I can. And Capoch sending out actually a second probe here. We'll see where he heads with that one. Maybe just a watchtower or something. And this map does actually have 3 watchtowers across the middle, so he'll be able to watch any air aggression if CatZ chooses to do that just by holding the watchtowers. Oh, and these 2 Zerglings of CatZ do find the proxy pylon of Capoch before warp gate tech is finished, so good thing for CatZ that he was able to search his base this time. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Isn't that what George Bush told everybody? But CatZ, seeing this proxy pylon, taking it out, absolutely no problem. So Capoch actually way behind on his typical plan of getting a pylon up somewhere. He is sending 3 zealots here across the map anyway, despite the extremely long run distance, and chrono boosting this warp gate research just to get it done as soon as possible. There's another gateway coming down and a 3rd gateway coming down for Capoch now. CatZ still has not built a Roach Warren. He has not built a Roach Warren in the first 3 games either. Has not gotten Zergling speed yet, but he's only running off of 1 gas currently. He wants to get this natural up and running. He wants to fortify it as well as possible because he's he knows how aggressive Capoch is and has probably had his overlords spotting for him. But Capoch actually drops a pylon right here. He will be able to warp in right around this area, and if the pylon completes, and CatZ looks like he has not seen it yet, but his overlord probably did spot those zealots running in over there a second ago. So he is getting his queens up here at the front lines. He's got a handful of lings, 10 lings, ready to go. Zergling speed just now starting, if you look at the production tab. A 4th warp gate, or gateway, now warp gate, coming in for Capoch, and he is chrono boosting these things so that he can get his warp ins as fast as possible. He does start warping in across the divide here. He's got a lot of zealots, as well as some sentry, or a sentry and a stalker. Force field there cuts down on that surface area of the zealots, so they're going to be able to hack away through these Zerglings pretty much no problem. These queens are going to have to be the main tanking units for this offensive if CatZ hopes to live here. And these Stalkers are now shooting away at this Overlord as they back up and wait for more reinforcements. It looks like this probe of Capoch is actually going to be able to drop another pylon up inside of CatZ's main base. He snuck in during this encounter here, and CatZ may or may not be able to spot that since he's obviously very focused on the task at hand, which is getting rid of all these tier 1 units right here at his natural. And the Queen's doing a good job poking away at these Zealots. More Zealots warping in all the time though, and CatZ might not be able to keep up anymore. I'm going to look at income tab just to see how we're doing still. Still 22 workers, but Capoch has a pretty sizable army still alive. Zergling speed's still not done yet, jeez. Feels like it takes forever when you're behind like this, and finally it finishes. You can see all these Zerglings sprout wings, but the Queen's still taking the brunt of the damage. Good force field here again to lower that attack area on the Zealots. And it looks like Capoch does have that pylon up now and has not warped anything in with it yet. Oh, there he goes. 2 Zealots warping in inside CatZ's base, so he is going to leave this area alone briefly, but these 4 Zerglings and Queen, actually 2 Zerglings and Queen, these other 2 Zerglings look like they're bugged out. Cannot figure out how to attack a pylon, but he is probably going to kill this pylon. It's only got 1 hit left. There he goes. But meanwhile, in his base, CatZ is forced to evacuate basically everything when he realizes that there is another pylon inside his base, and he is going to have to basically pick and choose what he wants to do. And if we look up here, he's got a ton of Speedlings, actually sending just a bunch of them over to Capoch's base, and he does not have this completely walled off, so these Speedlings are going to be able to get in. Oh, he sees it just in the nick of time, tried to drop that pylon, but the Speedlings get in regardless. They are going to start hitting up this probe line. I'm trying to watch on the minimap and make sure Capoch doesn't do anything crazy while we're watching this, but lots of probes going down. Wow, 3 Zealots warping in now. CatZ actually not even really looking at the Speedlings, trying to kill the Zealots. Instead, I would definitely be going for these probes because the Speedlings are much, much faster than the Zealots. Capoch, on the other hand, on the other side of the map, is going to be able to take out that hatchery pretty easily of CatZ since there's nothing there to defend it. Capoch even built a second pylon there just in case that first one does go down again. And so CatZ losing all his Speedlings over here at Capoch's base, and Capoch does block off the rest of the ramp in preparation for any sort of Zergling harassment, and he is going to kill this spawning pool, this undefended spawning pool. Did CatZ already start another one? He has actually started another spawning pool at his natural expansion. I probably would have tucked it away farther, maybe like actually behind the mineral line or something, just so these spine crawlers would be better able to defend it. You can move spine crawlers, but you cannot move a badly placed spawning pool. So Capoch actually still has a ton of units here. He is going to be able to continue warping things in up here in the main. Instead, he's just going to run around and try to figure out what to